Good evening, dear students. Today we will discuss the condition-based programs, and we have discussed the algorithms of these programs already in the class. So today we will learn how to make the condition-based programs by using the Python language. Okay, students. So we will open the problems which we will solve during this video. Students, the first problem is write down a program in Python to find whether a number entered by user is even or odd. Okay, so students will understand the code of this program line by line, right? So the first line is input, enter a number, and this number will be an integer type. So we have converted this into an integer, and we will store this number in a variable num. Okay, students. So after this we will check that whether num divided by 2 or num modulus 2 is equal to 2, which means when we will divide this number by 2, whether we will get remainder 0. If we will get remainder 0, then it will be an even number. Students, now we will understand the syntax of if also. So we will write if, then we will write the condition. So this is the condition, and after that we will write two dots, the colons. Okay, and after that we will give an indent, or you can use the tab. It means this line is dependent upon this condition. Okay, so here the condition is num modulus 2 is equal to 0, and the result is that it is even number. Okay, students, and if this is not the case, in that case it will print it is odd number, and you can see that this thing is in the else part. Okay, students, so now we can run this program. So for this I will copy this code, and I will paste this code in the online Python interpreter. I will paste it here and I will run it. Now we can enter any number, for example 67. Now 67 is odd number, and you can see that it is giving the correct answer. Okay, students, so I think you have understood this. It is very easy program. Now we can go to the second program, and this program will be solved by you. Okay, so this is a similar problem, and in this case user will enter his age or her age, and you will check whether he or she is eligible for voting or not. So you know that what is the condition for the eligibility of voting. If the age is greater than or equal to 18, then the user will be eligible to vote. Otherwise the user will not be eligible to vote. Okay, students, so now we can take the third example. Now in this case user will enter a year, and you have to check whether that year is a leap year or not. Okay, so for this it will read the value of year, and by using the same method, input, enter a year, then we will convert this thing into int, and after that we will store this into a variable year. Now we have discussed this thing in the class, that what is the condition for a leap year. We have learned that any year is a leap year if that year is divisible by 400, or that year is divisible by 4 but that year is not divisible by 100. So we are writing this thing by using this syntax: if year modulus 400 is equal to 0, so this is the first condition, or year modulus 4 is equal to 0 and year modulus 100 is not equal to 0. So if this condition holds true, then in that case it will be a leap year, and otherwise it will be a non-leap year. Now students, you can see the syntax of this if and else, and we have written this print after a tab, or you can say an indent, so that it will indicate that this line is dependent upon this condition and this line is dependent upon this thing. Okay, I think you have understood this. So now we will copy this code. It is very easy, and we will go to the online Python compiler, here and we will paste it. We will paste it, and now we can press the run button and enter year. Suppose you can check any year. Suppose you want to check 2023. You know that it is not a leap year. So the answer is correct. It is not a leap year. Okay, students. Now we can move forward and we can take the next problem. The next problem is to find the grade of a student on the basis of his or her percentage. Students, for this we will read the percentage of the student by using the input function, and we will store this in a variable PER. Now here we have taken the condition that if the percentage is between 80 and 100, both are inclusive, in that case it will be grade A, and if it is greater than 60 and less than 80, then it will be B grade, and if it is greater than equal to 50 but less than 60, it will be C grade, and if it is greater than equal to 35 and less than 50, it will be D, and if it is between 0 to 35, it will be F, and in other cases it will give invalid percentage. So we will understand the syntax and the code line by line. Firstly, it will read the percentage. After that, it will check the condition by using if, that if percentage is less than equal to 100 and percentage is greater than equal to 80, in that case it will print grade A. It means this line is dependent upon this condition. This will execute only if this condition will hold true. Now the second thing is elif. Elif, it means if this condition is failed, then it will check this condition here. This is a shortcut form of else if. It is written in Python as elif. Okay, so the condition is if percentage is less than 80 and percentage is greater than equal to 60, in that case it will print grade B. And similarly, if the percentage is less than 60 and percentage is greater than equal to 50, it will print grade C, and in the similar manner it will print grade D, and in the similar manner it will print grade F. And if all the conditions are failed, suppose user has entered 150% or user has entered minus some figure you can imagine in your mind, so you know that the percentage cannot be more than 100 and it cannot be less than 0, so in that case it will give invalid percentage output. Okay students, I think you have understood the code, and now we will run this code. Okay, just wait. Okay, so we have copied it. Now we can right click, copy. Now we can run this in the online Python interpreter. Now enter your percentage. Suppose your percentage is 75. So in that case it will give B grade, because here we can see in this code if percentage is between 60 and 80, it is B grade. So it is giving the correct result. So students, now let's move on and let's understand the next problem. The next problem is to find the largest number among three given numbers. Okay, so for this we will firstly read three numbers, and by using the same method, input enter first number, input enter second number, input enter third number, and we will store these in num1, num2 and num3. Now we will check that if num1 is greater than num2, in that case it will enter into this code. Okay, because this code here is written with an indent. It means the code from here to here is dependent upon this if. Okay students, now here we have written that if num1 is greater than, if num1 is greater than num3. Okay, I have made a mistake here, num3. So if num1 is greater than num3, in that case it will print num1 is greatest, otherwise it will print num3 is greatest. So firstly it will check whether num1 is greater than num2, if this condition holds true, it will enter here. It will now check whether num1 is greater than num3. If this is the case, then it will print num1 is greatest. Otherwise, it will print num3 is greatest. Okay, students. Now, suppose this condition failed here. So in that case, it will go to this part here, and the code from here to here is dependent upon this else. Okay. So firstly, it will check that whether num2 is greater than num3, because it is, the num2 is greater than num1, and that's why it is here. So it will check whether num2 is greater than num3. If this is the case, it will print num2 is greatest, and otherwise it will print num3 is greatest. So now I think you have understood this thing. We have also discussed the logic of this program in the class. So now we will run this code here. So this is copy, and now we'll paste it. Now we can run. So enter first number. Suppose first number is 56, second number is say 89, and third number is say 45. So we know that greatest number is 89. So it will give the result that 89 is greatest. Okay, students. So I think I have discussed all the programs related to the conditional control structure, which we have discussed in the class. So now I want you to practice these programs on your own, and you can do small experiments, and then you can run these codes by using online compiler. And if there is any query, you can share your queries with me with the help of WhatsApp. Okay, thank you, students. Thank you for attending or viewing this video. Thank you.